Welcome to a lesson on reflection. Here is a nice reflection in nature. The pristine clear water reflects the mountain. This is an example of the letter F, which has been reflected across the reflection line. We call it S for symmetry. There's the reflection line. And this is the reflection of F. And remember, A becomes A prime, B becomes E prime, and so on. This is the original. The one on the right is the image. This demonstration is a really nice way to look at reflections. When you hold up a mirror, on the axis of symmetry of the A, the mirror actually completes the A. You can try this at home. Here's a question about symmetry. Which picture shows a line of symmetry? There we are, this one. Because this side is a complete reflection of the other side. This doesn't happen in any of the other cases. There we are. Some shapes have more than one axis of symmetry. If you look at this example, you have a few different axes of symmetry. There's one that goes vertically, there's a horizontal axis of symmetry, and there are two that are on the diagonal. So some shapes do indeed have more than one axis of symmetry. Okay, this is where the fun begins. We are going to draw the reflection of this triangle using perpendicular lines. And when I say perpendicular, I mean perpendicular to the reflection line. So this red line is the reflection line. Now I'm going to show you two examples. The first example is using your protractor, the half moon, and a ruler. So first step, take out your protractor. And you want to draw lines which are 90 degrees to my reflection line, which go through these three vertices. On your protractor, 90 degrees is the line that is perpendicular to this one and the edge of your protractor. So what I'm going to do C first. So look what I do. I make the angle of 90 degrees right here on my protractor. And then I'm going to draw a line through my vertex. Make sure you're accurate with this. It's actually better if you make a dotted line, so I am going to make mine dotted. There we are, there's a dotted line. That's one line. I will also make one that goes through B. Now, if you run into a situation like this, and you see that B is a little too far away, you can do a couple of things. I'll come back to that one in a second. A is quite nice. Again, if you find that you were too close to the end up here, you can just turn it around and use the bottom. And there's another line that's 90 degrees, which means that these two lines are parallel. This one and this one are parallel. Okay, let's get to back to the other one. You can do a couple of things. You can take your triangle. I'm sure you have some good ideas with this. Things you can do. You can take your triangle and you can sit it on the red line. Now look at this. It's sitting on the red line. So anything I draw, this is very similar to when you drew parallel lines. Anything I draw perpendicular to the red line is going to be parallel to these. So here we are. Let's make this one a dotted line also. And here we go. Now the obvious problem here is that it doesn't go on the other side, but that problem is easily solved by taking your ruler and this is extending your line. Take your time and join it. There we have. Now this one's a little bit off. Just make sure you're accurate with this. There we are. Okay, so now I have three lines. I think most of you can guess what we're going to do next. If you notice back in F, lines are absolutely the same length. This line and this line, that's a sign for equal length, are exactly the same length. The line from the reflection line to A will be exactly the same length as the line from the reflection to A prime. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure. Remember, the 0 is not at the end of the ruler. It always comes in a little bit. I'm going to measure right now. For this, mine says it is 2.7 centimeters. So I am going to put a point that is 2.7 centimeters exactly, or as close as I can be, 2.7 centimeters from the center line. 2.7 is right there. My point A. This new point will be called A prime and is exactly the same distance as A is from the reflection line. So I will call this A prime. That's very important to keep things organized here. So the second one, B. B is quite a bit further away. B is 7.5 centimeters. So again, 7.5 centimeters, it's 7.5 centimeters right there. And this is B prime. And the last one, C is 4.3 centimeters. And here we are, 4.3 centimeters. Make sure your point is on the line. It makes things much neater. And in this is one place where neatness really counts. A prime, B prime, C prime. So now you did the same as you did in the translation and the rotation. You join the points, which are actually the vertices of my triangle. Now this triangle has the same angle measurements, has the same side lengths as your original triangle. It's important to be accurate when you're doing these. Okay, welcome to drawing the reflection of an original shape using a compass and ruler. Now in this case, you need a compass and a ruler only. So take your compass and put it at either end of the reflection line. Now what you'll discover as you are working is that you might want to make the reflection line a little bit shorter, a little bit longer. It doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent with each point. So you'll put your metal point on the end and then extend your compass so that it goes through point A, or the point that's closest. Doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to now draw an arc that goes through the point and through to the other side. A will be approximately over here, so make sure the arc goes through that point. Now, this I'm going to shorten a little bit. And you can erase it on your paper, it doesn't matter what you do here. I'm going to shorten it because I know that I won't be able to reach it with my compass. And that really doesn't make a difference as long as you don't keep going back and forth. Now I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to put it through A. There we are. Now I'll draw an arc. Now you see that the arcs intersect. So I will put a point at the second intersection, which if you notice is exactly the same distance as A. So I'm going to call this A prime. There's A prime. Now let's do B. For B, doesn't matter where I start, I'm going to start at the bottom this time. I'm going to start here and I'm going to put my pen through, it will go through B. I'll choose blue this time, doesn't really matter what color. And then I will go up to the top, stretch my compass again out to B. There's B, and I will make an arc. And again, it will cross the second arc. I can go all the way back up again. It will cross the second arc. It's very important to keep track of these things because I could get mixed up. I might think it's this one, which is why you want to make sure that you don't make your arcs too big. I made them in different colors, so it's a little bit easier. Okay, my third instance. Now, when I look at this, I look at it and I say, can I reach all the way to C? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I can. If I couldn't, I would have no problem just going a little bit shorter. In fact, I'll do that just to show you. What I can do is just to decide to go from here. It won't make a difference for this point at all. So if you find you're too far away, just try that. There it is. So I'm at C. Change it to green. Go all the way through. I don't mind where it hits anything else, but it's where it intersects again with the green that's important. Now I come down here. Now I'm really close to C. Try my arc. And where the two greens intersect, that is my new point, C prime. C prime. So then you take out your ruler. Don't ever do this freehand. It's not worth it to make a mess on this. Take out your ruler. Your ruler works a lot better than mine does, so I'm going to use my straight line tool. So you make a very, very nice line through the point, not to the side, absolutely through that point. It has to be accurate. A prime, B prime, C prime.